The studio lights of the Graham Norton Show glowed warmly, casting a golden sheen over the famous red couch. Laughter echoed as the audience settled in, unaware they were about to witness one of the most uncomfortable moments in late-night television history. Emma Watson sat elegantly on the far end of the couch, calm and composed, her hands folded neatly in her lap. Across from her sat Prince Harry, relaxed but alert, a faint smile fixed on his face as cameras rolled. Graham Norton, ever the master of charm, guided the conversation smoothly. At first, everything felt light. Emma spoke about her latest film, her advocacy work, and her love for storytelling. The audience applauded warmly. Then Graham turned to Prince Harry, asking about public life, pressure, and speaking one's truth. That's when the air shifted. Prince Harry leaned forward slightly, his tone casual but sharp. Sometimes people with influence speak about things they don't fully understand, he said, glancing briefly toward Emma. The audience chuckled nervously, unsure if it was a joke. Emma's smile didn't fade, but her eyes changed. They sharpened. Graham sensed it instantly. "Well, this is getting interesting," he joked, trying to soften the moment. Emma laughed lightly, but her voice carried steel beneath it. "Influence," she repeated. "That's a powerful word, especially when you're born into it rather than earning it." The audience gasped. A ripple of whispers moved through the studio. Prince Harry's smile stiffened. "I don't think suffering checks your resume," he replied. "Some of us didn't ask for the platform but still choose to use it." Emma turned fully toward him now. "True," she said calmly. "But using a platform responsibly also means knowing when your story overshadows the struggles of millions who don't have a microphone or a palace to retreat to." The tension was no longer subtle. Cameras zoomed in. Graham shifted in his chair. Harry crossed his arms. "That's a bit unfair. Trauma isn't a competition." "No," Emma replied, her voice steady. "But accountability isn't optional either." The audience erupted, half applause, half stunned silence. Graham attempted to redirect. "Well, let's all take a breath." But Prince Harry interrupted. "It's easy to judge from the outside." Emma didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. "And it's easy to silence criticism by calling it judgment," she said. "Especially when criticism makes you uncomfortable." A hush fell over the studio. Even Graham Norton was speechless. For the first time that night, Prince Harry looked genuinely shaken. And Emma Watson? She sat back, calm as ever, like someone who knew this conversation was far from over. The atmosphere had changed completely. What began as playful banter had turned into a live televised confrontation. And everyone could feel it. Graham cleared his throat, attempting to regain control. "All right, let's remember, we're here for a good time," he said, though his voice betrayed unease. Prince Harry exhaled sharply. "With respect, Emma, it's easy to preach when you can step away from scrutiny whenever you like." Emma tilted her head slightly. "That's interesting," she said, "because scrutiny followed me from the moment I was 11. The difference is, I didn't call it persecution when people questioned me." A murmur rippled through the audience. Harry leaned forward. "You're implying I exaggerate." "I'm implying," Emma said gently, "that power reacts poorly when it's challenged. And that includes celebrity, royalty, and everything in between." The words landed hard. Graham attempted humor. "Well, this is more intense than my last family Christmas." No one laughed. Prince Harry's jaw tightened. "You talk about power, but you benefit from systems too. Hollywood fame." Emma nodded. "Absolutely. And that's why I constantly question my place in them." "The problem isn't having privilege," she continued, eyes locked on his. "It's denying it while monetizing your pain." The audience audibly gasped. Harry's voice rose. "You don't get to decide how someone heals." Emma leaned forward now, her tone unwavering. "No, but the public gets to decide whether your healing narrative turns into a brand." Silence. The cameras caught Graham blinking rapidly, clearly stunned. Emma continued, calmer than ever. "When you speak, people listen. Not because of what you've endured, but because of who you are. That comes with responsibility, not applause." Prince Harry opened his mouth to respond, but no words came. Graham finally spoke. "I think we may need a break." The red applause sign lit up, but the clapping was hesitant, fractured. Emma offered a polite smile to the audience. Harry stared straight ahead, his expression unreadable. During the break, whispers filled the studio. Producers rushed. The moment was already viral, and the show wasn't even over. When the show returned from commercial, the tension hadn't eased, it had hardened. Graham tried one last time. Let's wrap this up on a lighter note. Prince Harry nodded stiffly. Emma remained composed. But then Graham asked the final question, one meant for reflection. If you could say one thing to young people watching tonight, what would it be? Prince Harry spoke first. Protect your mental health. Speak your truth. No matter who tries to silence you. The audience applauded politely. Emma took a breath. I'd say this, she began. Use your voice, but don't confuse attention with impact. Real change happens when you listen as much as you speak. She paused, then added quietly, and when criticism comes, don't call it cruelty. Sometimes it's just honesty. The applause was thunderous. Prince Harry looked over at her, stunned, not angry now, but reflective. Graham smiled awkwardly. Well, that's television. By morning, clips of the exchange had exploded across social media. Headlines screamed Emma Watson schools, Prince Harry live on TV, and the Graham Norton Show's most uncomfortable moment ever. Emma never commented afterward. Prince Harry released a brief statement days later, measured, careful. But the moment was already etched into pop culture history, not because of shouting, not because of insults, but because on a red couch under bright lights, words spoken calmly proved more powerful than any title ever could.